Hey guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. For this video, I want to do a montage or collage. You know, the thing that I did for Thanksgiving when I went back and found old videos and I put them together as one big thing so you can find everything in one place. For this video, because it is Christmas Eve, we're going to be doing cookies. So it's going to be all about cookies. The first one up is going to be gingerbread men cookies. Let's get right into the video.
Welcome to the Bare Pantry Show. If you want to learn how to cook in simple steps and have your dishes come out great the first time, then you're in the right place. Learn to make restaurant-style meals, comfort foods, and authentic Belizean dishes from basic ingredients. No holiday treat platter would be complete without gingerbread men cookies. This tried and true recipe is very simple but delicious. These cookies are made with all butter, no shortening, and decorated with Belizean royal icing. Look at how beautiful they are, guys. I don't even want to eat them. They're so cute. Now let's see how we make them.
Alright guys, let's light the oven. Hey guys, Barbara here, popping into the video really quickly to remind you that I have two cookbooks for sale. Beans and Rice Volume 2 is my Belizean cookbook and it has 120 authentic Belizean dishes. This one, the Pantry Laid Bare, is my brand new cookbook and it has 111 of the best dishes that I've done on the show that are not my Belizean dishes, alright? Check below to see how to purchase. 350 is the temperature, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and let's run through the ingredients. You guys know I don't write the ingredients anywhere because it's too much work, but I'll show you. Half cup of butter, and this is softened to room temperature, and I'm using salted butter because that's what I always buy. Half cup of brown sugar, dark brown sugar, tightly packed. 1 egg at room temperature. 1/4 cup of molasses. Dry ingredients over here. 1.5 cup of all-purpose flour. I sifted it because my flour is heavy this time around. And then this is ginger, only 1.5 teaspoons, but you can put more if you want it hotter. And then baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon. Cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. You're gonna need some type of spatula to lift the little men up. You're gonna need your little cookie cutter in the shape of the gingerbread men. And spatula, oh, almost forgot this. Some type of pudding mix. I'm using vanilla, you can use butterscotch, all right? Let me get this open right away. So the first thing that we're gonna do is put the butter and the sugar in this bowl. I got a deep bowl because I'm tired of stuff flying all over the place when I'm doing these cookies. You know, this is cookie week at the Bare Pantry Show. So this is like what, the 4th cookie? No, the 5th cookie. So let's go ahead and blend this out.
I just want to make sure that my butter and sugar are blended until they look creamy. Always make sure that you scrape down your bowl because you don't want anything to be left out while you're blending.
I'm sure you could use a wooden spoon, but that's work. Get the 1 egg open. Pop it in here and blend again.
Make sure that this gets mixed in really well. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the molasses. So thick and so sweet. It's going to give the cookie the nice dark color. I'm going to get the rest of it, don't worry. I'm going to get a spatula and get out the rest.
And remember, the best way to make sure that this will come out easily is to run water in the container that you're going to measure it into before you put the molasses in. Open the pudding mix. Let me work it with my spatula first so nothing goes flying into the air. Ooh, I'm getting it messy.
As I continue blending, I want to make sure I clean everything off the side of the bowl because I want everything to be mixed in well.
And as usual, I like to give my props to who's running camera for me. Joe's running camera for me today. Well, and sometimes my camera people will change in the middle of the show, you guys. Joe will start off and then Joshua will wake up and say, hey mom, I can take over. Or Joe will be here and he says, I can do it quicker than daddy. And they'll pitch in and help me out here. Get the dry ingredients right here. The cinnamon. I'm sure you could put other spices like nutmeg and other things that you like, but I just put the stuff that I like, all right? Now, a lot of people will drag me and say, oh, you put too many twists on things. Well, this is how recipes become unique, guys. You do it your way, then come back and tell me how you did it, and maybe somebody will like your way. So let's put all of this in. It's not like doing a cake. We don't have to do it in increments. You get a bigger spatula. Are you guys enjoying all the cookies that I've been putting forth? I'm so glad that Cookie Week is over, because we ran the risk of getting sugar high and gaining weight and running out of recipes. Okay, let me go ahead and blend again.
Yeah, I think it would have been too much work to use a wooden spoon, so I'm glad I have this cheap hand mixer. Let me go ahead and clean off the beaters now. And I have some parchment paper, but what I'm going to do is dump everything onto the countertop first, just so I can work the dough into one big ball. The dough is very soft, by the way. Let me get all the pieces here. And I'm not really kneading. I'm just kind of just squeezing it all together to make it hold together as one big ball, all right? Get all these little pieces off the counter right here. See how quickly it comes together? Now let me go ahead and set it on this piece of parchment paper right here, because we're going to wrap it up and put it in the refrigerator for about 15 to 30 minutes. Come with me to the fridge, guys. Hi! You guys see me? Put it in here. And then what I want to do is work on the royal icing. So I'm just squeezing a lemon so I can get 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Right here, see? 2 tablespoons. And then I'm using 1 egg white, which I'm going to beat to soft peaks using the hand mixer again. This is a simple Belizean royal icing. Now after this gets to soft peaks, that's when we're going to start adding the confectioner sugar or icing sugar, and it is going to be 2.5 cups. So I'm starting off with 1 cup right here. Now keep in mind that this icing starts off soft and you could put it through a piping bag, but after it sets, after a few hours it'll set and it'll become hard. And that's the way I want it, because I don't want the icing to be falling off of the gingerbread men when it's done. So I'm just putting the lemon juice through a strainer to get out the pulp and the seeds and stuff like that. And I start off, of course, with white, because the powdered sugar is white, but I'm going to separate it into little bowls and add whatever colors I have in the pantry. Now let me get my dough. It's been about 20 minutes. Open it up. If it's too cold and you're rolling it out and it starts to crack, just go ahead and let it rest a little bit more on the counter, all right, to come to more to room temperature. So put some flour on the counter if you're having trouble with the dough sticking. And all you want to do is take your time and continue to flour your rolling pin while you roll out the dough to about 1/8 of an inch thick. And then using the cookie cutter, you cut your little men out. So then you peel the dough from in between the men, kind of like a puzzle. You get the first batch of like 7. Now I'm just going to grease my baking sheet because I want to put these on here. Let me use my offset spatula to pick up the first little guy here. And I almost broke off his legs. Let me fix him. Thank goodness the dough is very forgiving.
Joe says go in the middle of his body first. Go wake him up here and lift him. Carefully, carefully, like a surgeon. Go in the middle of his body. This one's gonna be a problem. Clean him up. Oh yeah, we pros. Thanks to Joe, we're some pros.
Joe always has some pretty good suggestion, guys. I would have never thought about just taking the spatula underneath the whole body before I lift up the little guy, right? So now I've rolled out the dough and I've cut out some more. So let me get rid of my excess. And I'm just going to continue to lift them up onto these baking trays until the dough's all used up.
This little piece left, guys. I don't know if I'm going to get a whole one out of it, but I'm going to try. Yes. Feel like $1,000,000 because I didn't waste it. He's thin though. Ah! He's very thin. He's the thin man. This little piece is left. I'll just bake it like a regular cookie. Now let's get them into the oven.
And I'm going to use all 3 of my shelves, so I'm going to remove that pan from the bottom. Everybody always asks me about that pan. That's just there because I use it when I make baguettes. I put water on that bottom tray. So now set it for 12 minutes. It's supposed to be 12 to 14 minutes. So let's take a look. It's been 12 minutes. Let me touch it. I think I'll give it the next 2 minutes. Now take a look. They're done. Let me get them out. I'm going to allow them to cool a little bit before I remove them from the trays.
The thin man wanted to burn because he was too thin. But the rest are gorgeous. See? 14 minutes. And look, my icing is waiting for me, but I need to go get some type of bag to pipe it through.
I've sent Joe to the store to get some type of resealable bag while I remove the cookies. And when he gets back, Joshua and I are going to decorate. We're just going to pipe with all different types of colors and make whatever designs we like.
So one of my viewers asked me, is there any way to make the gingerbread men not too hard? These aren't too hard. These are not like ginger snaps. Let me get this guy right here. Let me see. This one there. I'm going to get a defective one with the leg so we could taste, because now we have to decorate. All right? It's not too hard. Very tasty. Not too hot with the ginger, although it could be hotter for me. Pretty nice cookie. Now, here comes either the hard part or the fun part. Decorating the cookies. But I wanted to taste first before we decorate. So I left this batch white. This is our royal icing. And then whatever colors I had right here, Joe will show you. Pink, some kind of lime green, some kind of blue. I don't know what I'm going to do with these men, but we're going to be innovative. So look at this one. His little legs all bent. Maybe he should be in a cast. Have fun with it, okay? Don't just be traditional. We did it without making a mess except on my hands. Look, show it, Josh. This is, first of all, this is all my leftover baggies of stuff. And we have a lot of icing left over, but look, see? We have some girl ones, and they have hearts because they're in love. Joshua says this one's dancing the pole. I'm like, no, it's just a skirt. Come on, Joshua. It's a family show. This guy over here with the white thing around his neck, that was a decapitated one. His head broke off when I took it out, so I just put a color to save it. Do you guys like it? You guys can be innovative with your stuff, all right? Don't forget to follow the show if you're seeing me on Facebook. If you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate your comments, and I really appreciate if you share the show, because that's how the word gets out. I'll see you guys again next video. Bye-bye. I wish I had some of those gingerbread cookies right now. They came out so beautiful. I love the royal icing on it. You guys tell me if you try a different type of icing that's going to stay on the cookies and not melt off of it, all right? Now for this one, this is a long video, and it's going to be that whole assortment. It's a whole assortment of cookies that I tried. Remember when I did all the different types, the chocolate one, the Lindsor, the whatever? You guys are gonna have fun with this one. Let's get right into this video. A couple videos ago, Jada and I did a mukbang where we did a tea party, and we had an assortment of cookies at that tea party. Take a look, guys. Today I'm going to show you guys how we made those cookies.
These cookies use a lot of butter, guys. We're going to need 6 2/3 sticks of butter. So on this one slab that I have here, which is a pound, we have 4 sticks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on this one, we're going to use 5, 6, and 2/3 of this. Okay? So now let's see how we're going to find the 2/3. Let me cut this straight in half first. Then cut a stick off of this piece. Let me set this piece aside to put in my butter dish. And then use this stick, eyeball 1/3 in each section, and then cut this piece off. I figure this is 1/3. Set that aside for the butter dish, and the rest will be 2/3. So we start off first of all with the butter. It's a lot of butter, guys. It's more than 1.5 pounds of butter. So we're going to need butter, and my butter is salted, powdered sugar, egg whites, all-purpose flour, some vanilla extract, and the hand mixer. Let's start first of all by creaming the butter all by itself. I got this recipe from another YouTuber, and her channel is called Emma's Goodies. And she says that these cookies are supposed to give you like 4 boxes, you know, of those little gift boxes. And you can fill them to capacity with cookies. So it's a lot of cookies, all right? I'm not going to have the recipe because this is the first time that I'm doing it. And I want to make sure that I do it correctly. So I just want to go ahead and cream this. This looks pretty good. So let me add the sugar. I'm going to add it all at once. And then use my spatula to work it in first, because I don't want, when I turn on the mixer, for the sugar to go flying everywhere, especially on my camera lens. I feel like powdered stuff like that put little pits in the lens of the camera. Plus, if you're making this and you're not filming, you don't want to have to clean up a lot of mess, right? I'm always trying to find the easier way to do things where we don't have to clean up a lot of mess. So make sure that you use the spatula to scrape down the sides to make sure everything is well incorporated before you start adding the next ingredient, right? It's feeling so thick already, guys. So now the next ingredient is going to be the egg whites. And look below for all the ingredients. The ingredients for this part of the cookies, the base, and the ingredients for what we're going to do to each section, because we're going to divide this into 5. We're going to do 5 different types of cookies. We're going to do a Linzer cookie, a chocolate cookie. We're going to do a gingerbread type cookie. We're going to leave one of them like this, just as is, so we could pipe. And then we're going to do another one where we can put dye in it to make some type of colored cookies, alright? So you see that I'm adding the flour in a little bit at a time. I work it in with a spatula, and then I use the hand mixer to just blend until it's well incorporated. And you guys, I totally forgot that this recipe calls for vanilla extract. So you're going to see me put it in after the fact, but I would put it in now. Okay, let me continue to work this. Now, even though this batter looks thick, remember we're trying to make a cookie dough. But even so, at the end it's going to be soft because we have to do things to it, right? So this is the last batch of flour. Work this in, blend it, and this is when Joe says, does this stuff use vanilla? So now I'm adding the vanilla. I didn't put any salt in this because my butter is salted. I prefer to buy salted butter. I really like the taste of it versus the other one that's unsalted. So let's just work the vanilla extract in. Okay. Keep scraping down your bowl, okay? I haven't scraped in a while, but you keep scraping down your bowl. Alright, now this is how soft it's supposed to look. Almost like mashed potatoes. And now I'm gonna start measuring. I'm using a scale, and I figure that I'm gonna do like 390 to 400 grams for each of the 5 pieces or segments that I want to do. But in the long run, it ended up being 600 grams that I would need to separate the whole lot, okay? Remember, I'm taping this as I'm making it for the first time. So if you don't go closer to 600 grams divided by 5, you're gonna have to go back in and start putting a little bit more into each bowl to make it be 5 equal pieces. So for this first one, we're gonna make what? The gingerbread one. So we're gonna need ginger, cinnamon, and a little bit of baking cocoa. Now normally a true gingerbread cookie will use molasses, but we can't put molasses in this right now because it's gonna be too soft. So we're doing the baking cocoa for color. And then some all-purpose flour. And I'm going to use my spatula to start because I feel like it looks more professional. But honestly, guys, you can get right into this with your hand right away because it's going to make it easier for you. Okay? Yeah, so form it into a dough like this. You see why I had to start off really soft? See where I'm putting my ring, guys? Remember the last time I lost my ring? It was in my jewelry box the whole time, but I don't recall putting it there, so I really feel like Jory put it there for safekeeping and didn't tell me. But I found it. Yay! So put the dough between 2 pieces of parchment, roll it out. Not too thin though, okay? Just a little bit. And then go ahead and stick it in the fridge. It has to hang out in there for at least a half hour. So for the next one, we're going to do the Linzer cookies. And this is some almond meal flour that I got from my sister a while back. I was going to do a keto recipe for you guys, but I didn't. Some almond extract. Okay, see? Let me show you. It says almond. This is the first time that I wanted to try a recipe. And I actually had all the ingredients. I didn't have to go to the store to buy anything. So work it in. I put the all-purpose flour too. And then get your hand in there and form it into a big dough ball. And then stick it between 2 pieces of parchment. This parchment is from my mom, so I've had this for a while. She got like 2 big bales like this from Costco, I guess. I'll stick it in here. All these cookies right here, we're going to use the cookie cutter. The only one that we're going to pipe is the batch of dough that we leave as is, okay? So into the fridge it goes. You know, when I was watching that lady's video, somebody made a comment on her page saying, "My God, how big is your fridge? You keep popping it into the fridge." I'm like, you guys, just stack it, you know? So this one, this is baking cocoa and a little bit of sugar, powdered sugar, because my baking cocoa is not sweet. So we want to make it into a paste. She says you bloom it. You bloom the cocoa. I've added the flour in here, but you can really add the flour into the dough and then just add the paste. Because it's all going in the same place, right? So work it in. And this one, make sure you work it in really well because you want that cocoa to spread out throughout the dough and not leave any white area. So put this on the parchment. Put the top on. Roll it out a bit. I press it first and roll it out a bit. And then pop it into the fridge. Okay, let's work on this one. All I did for this one was a little bit of vanilla and the flour. You work this in. And then get my hand in here, make it into the ball. But this time, I'm going to split this in 2. So it's not going to be really 6 type of cookies, because this is just still 1. I'm just going to add some dye to this one, okay? I want some red cookies to show up in my assortment because I really want a lot of colors to pop when we do the mukbang. If you go check out that lady's page, she's got over 1 million subscribers and her cookies look legit. I wonder what my cookies are gonna look like. Let's put the dye in. If it gets too moist, put some more flour, but I didn't need to put any more flour in mine. We're going to roll this out between the parchment also and put it back in the fridge. And put the other plain one too. This is the one that we didn't do anything to because we're going to pipe this baby. So I went and grabbed Jada because I suck at piping anything. And She used to work at Kroger. She used to work at Food for Less in the bakery. So they trained her how to pipe. Well, she didn't really used to pipe though, guys. She used to write people's name on top of birthday cakes. She said the most suckiest part about working in the bakery is that people would come in and they want you to write a whole paragraph on a small cake. And she would say, I can't do that. I can barely write your whole baby's name right here. I think she's doing a really great job. But I have to try at some point for myself. So I'm going to try. And yeah, it's not coming. So she says, no, Mom, you have to break the bag right here in the center. You just can't like squeeze it all the way from the top, right? Look how easy that is for her. Okay, so let me try again. I'm breaking it at the halfway part here on the bag. I'm trying to do the S that the young lady did for her cookies in the video that I watched, but it's still not working, so I'm just going to toss the dough back in here and let Jada go to town. What is she spelling, guys? Bare pantry? So we would have gotten more cookies out of this batch, but we spelled out bare pantry. So let's start with the red one. You have to let it sit for a couple of minutes after taking it from the fridge, okay, before you can start rolling. Put flour as needed and roll it thin, I would say, to what, 1/8 of an inch thick. So my cookie cutter has two parts. A smooth part, which is what I'm using right here. I have different sizes in the kit that came. The opposite end of it is different, so you can turn it over and do the opposite end. So see what it looks like? It's fluted. I'm going to do two like this. Now when you remove the excess from the cookies that you've cut, just form a dough ball again and knead it out again. Well, roll it out. We're not kneading. Roll it out and then cut some more. Look, I have a little heart that I can cut out from the middle of this one. And see, these are ready for the oven. She said to bake them for like 15 minutes, but mine needed 18 minutes. And mine needed 18 minutes at 350. She baked hers at 340, I believe. So this is the, I think this is the chocolate one. I get, you know, mixed up between the chocolate and the gingerbread one. The gingerbread one is lighter. So I'm just doing circles and cutting out circles from the center. And at first I was using one of those cake lifter things to pick up the dough off of the counter, but I had some trouble because I couldn't slide the cookie dough off of the lifter thingy without the cookie dough crumbling. So I figured something else out, and I'll show you guys in a second. Let me just get a couple more cookies out of this. Let me get the center. So we're gonna make sandwiches of these ones where I'm cutting the holes, okay? So let me grab my metal spatula that's sitting in a bowl of flour, lift it up, flip it over like this, punch out the middle, and then take the cookie over to the greased baking tray. Let me cut a bigger one with the fluted end. I'm going to cut a heart into this one. Lift it up. Well, get rid of the excess first. Lift it up, flip it over. The flipping over helps a lot because then you're not trying to slide it off of the spatula, okay? And I'm just going to cut hearts, and the little pieces that's left over from every color that I have, I'm going to put together and make one cookie, one colorful cookie. It's not going to be a big cookie because it's only a little bitty piece that's left, like a pea-sized piece. Because I work this stuff, guys. Now we're going to do gingerbread man and Mikey for copyright purposes.
So what I'm doing right now is melting chocolate. You put some oil in here because we want it to be able to, like, that's a little bit too thick. I want it to be able to, you know, throw over stuff. So just put some extra virgin olive oil. We have a video here at the side already. We'll show you how to melt milk chocolate and white chocolate. Look, my sister gave me this. This was all chocolate chips at one point. Then it became a glob. and then we chiseled it, and now I'm going to try to melt some of this because we want to decorate these cookies. So for the chocolate ones, we're going to put chocolate in the middle and then maybe drizzle the white chocolate on top. That's just an idea. Now some of my cookies look kind of rough, and that's because how I bake them, like in the edge on the pan. But you all know that I'm not great at cookies, so I'm proud of myself how my cookies came out. And these ones, oh my goodness, these cookies taste so good. And every one of these cookies came from the same dough, but we separated and did a little bit of something different with each dough, right? So the red ones, we're gonna put white frosting in the middle, and I was gonna go make some white buttercream frosting, but I'm not gonna be able to get it to be white because the butter is yellow. See right here? The butter is yellow, and then the vanilla that goes in it will change the color. So I've seen, the camera got hooked up just now. I've seen that you're supposed to buy this like white color that you're supposed to add into it to make it white. I'm not going to do all of that. We're going to buy some white frosting and put it in the middle for these red or pink, whatever these cookies are, okay? Look at this one right here. This is Green Lantern for Jory. I just kind of grabbed whatever cutter I had and I went to town, all right? So let's get these chocolates melted. And then when we come back, we're going to be putting some jams and marmalades and just a whole bunch of stuff in here to make this beautiful assortment of cookies. All right, guys. I have strawberry jam. Don't worry if you make a mess on your parchment, all right? I've seen some people kind of spread it out like that. I think it needs more jam in that hole. Oh, yes. Oh, no, I went and put too much, huh? Man, I put too much. I changed the shape of the heart. You suck, Barbara. Put some in there. I'm going to scrape some back out of that guy right there. That's pretty. Look at this pretty. I put all the colors of the dough that was left over to do that one. Let me get another spoon and do like a... Jada got some marmalade. Some orange marmalade. Oh, that's gorgeous. Let me get another spoon so we could put some grape. Oh, this is not jam, this is jelly. Well, Jada had to get some jelly because we're going to do, well, we've already done. You would have already seen it, a dish out of this jelly. Okay. So I'm just going to find any of them that has the sandwich type thing with it and just get some jam in there, okay? See all the ones with the jams and the jellies and stuff? No, for this one we're just going to do melted milk chocolate chips. Jory's like, you're going to put chocolate on top of chocolate because he doesn't really like chocolate? I'm like, yeah, because we're going to dress it up on the top with some white chocolate. Now, white chocolate is not truly chocolate, so Jory likes that. But he doesn't like chocolate chocolate. So you can put Nutella or something. You know, I've never tried Nutella. But you can put Nutella in here if you'd like, I guess. Jory, have you tried Nutella?
Yeah.
Is it okay?
It tastes just like chocolate.
Oh, okay. This one, I made the cookie too small and then cut the hole, but you know what? It already happened. So I've learned not to put too much because you still want the beauty to show. Okay, I think that's it for the chocolate. We can always dip some more of these white ones in chocolate. I call them white because they're plain. So we can do like this. And then drain it. Set it down here to dry. I think I'm going to dip some of the hearts in it. And don't forget that we're going to put white frosting in these red ones, okay? I'll show you guys that at the end because we still have to run to the store and get the white frosting. But for right now, oh, let me show you this. Hold on. You guys almost missed this. Ah! Jory's helping. Jada spelled out Bare Pantry when she piped these because these ones were piped as you guys saw. Okay, let me see what else we're going to do with these. And I'll be back when I figure that out. Let me take care of my white chocolate that's melting. Yeah, this needs a little while more to go. This takes longer. Jada, she said it's thin enough. I think it's just me. so she doesn't keep a whole glob on the spoon. So all the chocolate ones are going to have this white chocolate drizzled on top. Then the only thing left to do is to put the white frosting in the red ones, and Joe's at the store getting white frosting for me. Thank you, Jada. Right, beautiful people. I did not make the frosting from scratch. It's just easier to just buy this. It tastes good, and you could cut down on some other work. Let's do this guy here. Pretty cool, right? See? It'll make for a pretty picture. And I'm just going to continue doing this, and then I'm going to try to assemble it so I can take a beautiful thumbnail picture. I'm showing you guys that my mask match my shirt. Look it, see? Get a good shot of this so I could do something with the greens. Oh, I have to be in front of the greens. No, this is the green screen. I'll try to put something on here to see if it'll work.
Is that all that means? I'm gonna eat this little heart guy.
I hope you guys are staying safe for this Christmas holiday. Don't worry about things that you can't do because of you know what. It'll be gone all too soon, guys. I'm not even trying to be like overly optimistic. The vaccines are here. They're going to be doling them out, and in the next few months, I'm thinking hopefully by June. That's probably when we're going to get our vaccines, by June. And then we can go back to some type of normalcy, all right? For now, just love the ones that you're with. Try not to be lonely. Don't overeat. Don't drink too much. All right? I'm telling you too much stuff that you can't do. You enjoy your own Christmas the way you want to enjoy your Christmas, all right? So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. Anything that you celebrate, I'm there with you as long as it involves food. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Remember, guys, we are not buying this book. Because if you do, the only people that are making money from that book are my ex-distributor and Amazon. Pick up this book instead. This is my Belizean cookbook. It has 120 authentic Belizean dishes that I've done on the show already, but now you can have it in print so you can follow along and your dishes will come out perfect each time. Hot off the presses, this is my second cookbook, guys. It's called the Pantry Laid Bare, and I named it that because I laid everything on the line when I picked the recipes for this book, all right? 111 delicious dishes from basic ingredients. To purchase, just check below on any of my videos and you'll see the different methods of payment and also the shipping. Thanks, guys.
Won't you come and try this warm delight? This is the Bare Pantry Show.